Welcome to Living Beyond Pink. Beyond Pink is a platform for the new urban Indian woman to celebrate the stories emerging from her situation, a woman who deals with the hairpin bends in her life her way. Today I bring to you a woman who is living her life beyond pink. Call her a diva or a success icon. When she speaks, people listen. She was one of India's youngest motivational speakers and is today renowned across the world. A best-selling author, she was also India's first certified woman firewalk instructor. Her work has inspired many minds to achieve personal breakthroughs and peak performance. Today's Beyond Pink woman is Priya Kumar, CEO and Chief Facilitator at Priya Kumar's Training Systems. Welcome to Living Beyond Pink, Priya.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta. It's a privilege to be here.
So, Priya, you've had an amazing journey and I know a difficult one also. Tell me something about the hairpin bends in your life.
Well, I like how you put it as hairpin bends, you know.
Okay.
Otherwise, a lot of people say challenges and so on. Actually, life has been very kind. You know, maybe not easy, but kind. And I feel when there is a hairpin bend, when there is a challenge, one must take the turn. You know, like for example, I came into motivational speaking. I was a teacher, I was a home tutor, and I had over 1900 students, you know. So then I decided I want to be a motivational speaker, and everybody told me, don't do it. You know, when you make a change, when you follow your dream, when you say, no, this is what I will do, everybody's watching you, you know, and they're just waiting to tell you, I told you so.
Everybody's judging you at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, they told me first do a job, get some experience. Who will listen to you? You're so young. I started when I was 24.
24. That's really young for a
And
motivational speaker.
because see, people judge you in your toughest times, you know, and that's when everybody becomes smarter than you. Then they will give you 20 advices on how you shouldn't have done it. So the greatest thing that I did was I didn't tell anybody. I survived it. It was so difficult. I still remember if I had a meeting with you as a client, I would go to the Taj, I would go early. Okay, so when you arrived and you say, what would you like to have? I say, I already had my cup of tea, because then I wouldn't have to pay. You know, so I was still maintaining the image, but I was working my way around it.
You threw yourself a challenge, a very tough challenge. You said, I need to do this and I must do it.
Yeah, and you know, today there is a financial challenge. Tomorrow there'll be something else and there'll be something else. There will always be hairpin bends, but there is no backward drive. You know, take it, survive it, drive on. You know, that's my philosophy.
That's a very empowering philosophy that you have developed. Now let me ask you another question. Through this entire journey that you've had, and you faced some really difficult times all through, did you have to compromise on your conviction also to make sure that you went ahead?
You know, even though times were difficult, they were fun. You know, I made sure I had a lot of fun, and I think that makes difficulty easier. But, you know, now that you say, now to think in retrospect, because now it all catches up with me, the only thing I've compromised, which I shouldn't have, and I would never advise anybody to do, is my health.
And today you are so successful. I just heard about your insanely hectic schedule. I doubt if you even sometimes know which city you are in. Is that right?
You know, the insanity keeps me ticking. You know, a lot of people say, how do you do it? But I say, look, I work 10 days a month, and then 20 days I do what I want to do. You know, sure, I have a very hectic schedule, and, you know, sometimes I don't know where I am.
And am I right in saying that you are leading a dream life right now?
Well, I am exactly where I wanted to be 10 years ago.
That's great. Along the way, have some of your dreams been compromised?
Well, I'm a professional dreamer. I cannot
Professional
compromise for the love of God. You know, I had rather not have it than have it halfway. You know, so it's not my style. I'm not happy. You know, and I tell you, if a person is not happy, he'll make others miserable. Forget he won't himself be happy. And I have learned that. So I've never compromised on my dream. It's not possible. I've never compromised on anything.
So was there a time at the beginning when you were struggling? Was there a time that you thought that you might not make it?
You know, the one thing that I define myself by is not just confidence, is overconfidence. So I'm a believer, I will make it, you know, I will put myself out there. Not only I believe it, I'll announce it, I'll make it. You know, then now my reputation is on the line and I will do everything in my ability to get there. So, no, I've always made it.
You've always made it, yeah. I have heard your story about Coco, your dog, and this amazing journey of self-belief through which you have pulled your dog. I really want you to talk about it today.
Oh, my dog Coco has challenged my faith in myself. She lies here very, you know, like an angel, but this dog has tested my faith. You know, when I got her, she was 20 days old, very sickly, and the doctor said she won't survive more than 2 days.
Right.
You know, and that's how it is. But I said, I'm sorry, this dog is not dying in my house. I bought her for 13 years, and she's going to complete her term. So I told this little being, and I said, sorry, I paid for 13 years, so you better live up to that. When you make a decision with conviction and belief, you know, unshakable, uncompromising, the universe bends for you.
She's 4.5 years old now.
4.5 years old.
So that's 1/3 of the way through already.
Yes.
Yes. I know you are single. You've had a lot of success. So I'm just wondering if you would have had the same success had you been married or had you been in a relationship.
See, I'm single not because I want to be. You know, it's not that I'm averse to marriage. I would love to be married. You know, in fact, the hunt is on. You know, I'm very old.
Hunt.
But I must tell you, I'm very old-fashioned. You know, so I would like the guy to woo me, you know, and so on, lift his eyes off his BlackBerry and look at me and so on. So, and I feel that anybody can make it. Marriage is neither an excuse nor, you know, an invitation to compromise or a place where people forego their dreams. I feel that, sure, adjustment is all right, but you can make it. It is possible.
So it's just a reorientation of priorities, and you still, I mean, of course, a large part of the world is married.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering, you know, if you make that shift, life settles down on its own equilibrium over there as well.
Yes,
is that
and
what
I
you're
feel,
saying?
Yeah, sure. And I feel a lot of people get married for different reasons, you know, and the reason necessarily is not progress. You know, so getting married to somebody who's like-minded, who has a like vision, who's on the same journey, makes it so much more easy. In fact, it's so much more empowering. But we tend to think things are not okay now, but after marriage they'll be better. It doesn't happen like that.
It doesn't work that way, no.
Yeah, and that's when marriage becomes a reason of the person's decline.
Priya, your apartment is really beautiful.
Thank you.
And I know it's your creation.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, how important is financial autonomy? Because I know that a lot of women work, but they don't have financial autonomy. So what is your view on having control of your own finances?
Well, I think every woman should aim for financial independence because we love shopping. Yeah, so we don't want to say why we bought yet another thing which we have already. Yeah, so I feel that is a drive for financial independence. You know, my desire was nothing much except that I want to shop without looking at the price. Yeah, and I achieved that. And I feel as women, you know, we have a lot of priorities before we come to free-handed shopping. Children, house, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
So the benchmark should always be higher, yeah, till you get there for yourself. And as women, we put ourselves last. Yeah, so it's a tall vision, and get there, by all means get there. Not just end it to the kids or to the house or towards whatever else, but also raise it to where you want to be.
So in some way you want to also live completely and totally for yourself.
Yes.
One part of your mind wants to live only for yourself, and you think it's perfectly all right for us to manage that, for us to live for ourselves.
No, everyone should, because we were
Everyone
born
should.
alone, right? Yeah, so why should I not live for myself? That doesn't mean I won't care for others.
Correct.
Or I won't include others in my world, but I want to live for myself too.
Yes, I want to have some, I like using the word enlightened self-interest.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course. And no one should take that away from me. Yeah, join me if you must, but don't take that away from me.
So I hope nobody takes that away from you.
No, I won't allow it.
I'm quite sure nobody will. So now I'm going to ask you a trick question, okay? And this is not something from your life. So now there's a situation where you are single. You were married once, but the marriage didn't work. And you have a child who has special needs. And to meet those needs, you need to work. You can't afford not to have a job. Now you are confronted with a challenge in your job. If you take that challenge, you might lose your job. But if you don't take that challenge and you want to keep your job,
Okay?
there's a big possibility that you'll lose your self-respect. Now, how would you choose between these two options?
Well, I wouldn't say what somebody else's response should be, but if I was in her place,
Right.
for me, self-respect is everything. Because if that doesn't exist, then what is the value of the job? Who is this person going to the job on a daily basis? And I feel if there is a challenge, it's an opportunity to grow beyond yourself. You know, and when you grow beyond yourself, then you'll invite a bigger, better job. You know, knowing that challenges is not something I shy away from. I keep my respect, I keep my conviction, and I find a job that supports that. I find people and friends who support that. And if that is the ideology, I think success is just around the corner, just, you know, behind that challenge. I would take it.
And that's your Beyond Pink response.
Absolutely. It always has been.
It always has been.
Yes. You know, I believe the true worth of an individual can be evaluated by what he or she will do when faced with a challenge. You know, will he succumb or compromise, or will he grow beyond himself to overcome it? Okay. And in my workshops, I throw challenges at my participants to see how they will react. For example, I put a fire walk forward. I light a bed of fire and I tell them, okay, cross it, to see what will they do now. So I have an offer for you.
For me? You have an offer?
I have an offer for you. Now, what if I built a bed of fire, especially for you? What would you do?
You're going to make me walk through fire?
Would you like to?
Let me think about it. Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So,
I love to walk on fire. I hope I don't get burnt, but it's a challenge. I want to take it up. It's exciting.
You'd get burnt anyways. Even if you don't walk on fire, you'll still get burnt. Do you cook?
Oh, then that's a no-brainer. Then I am definitely walking on fire if I'm anyway going to get burnt. Priya, thank you so much for sharing your Beyond Pink story with us.
You're very welcome, Sangeeta. It's been a delight chatting with you.
I will be with you again with another Beyond Pink personality. Stay tuned.
I feel when there is a hairpin bend, when there is a challenge, one must take the turn. There will always be hairpin bends, but there is no backward drive. You know, take it, survive it, drive on. You know, the insanity keeps me ticking. You know, a lot of people say, how do you do it? The one thing that I define myself by is not just confidence, is overconfidence. When you make a decision with conviction and belief, you know, unshakable, uncompromising, the universe bends for you. I feel that, sure, adjustment is all right, but you can make it. The benchmark should always be higher until you get there for yourself. And as women, we put ourselves last. Yeah, so it's a tall vision.